Good evening, everyone. I'm Anisha Naik from Mangalore. I'm a surfer, and I've been surfing since I was about 12 years old. Well, over the years, I found a trend in the way I feel when I surf. I figured that I feel differently before, during, and after a surf session. So I've tried my best to put an adrenaline rush into 3 stages. Before we get into that, let me tell you something about adventure sports and adrenaline. So, the risk factors that come with extreme sports are one of the main triggers for the adrenaline rush. It may be difficult to comprehend why anyone in their sane minds would want to put themselves and their lives at risk. But have you ever felt your breathing get faster and your heart racing when your body feels like it's in danger? This is the moment when the adrenaline gets released into the bloodstream. Our adrenal glands, they're placed right on top of our kidneys. However, the whole process starts in the brain when the amygdala and the hypothalamus work together to increase the heart rate, which in turn increases the blood circulation, rate of blood circulation. When the adrenaline is released into the bloodstream, our body reroutes all of its resources to the heart, brain, and muscles. Now that we know how an adrenaline rush happens, let's look into its stages. Stage 1 is the pre-surf session. Every time I go to the beach, I go with so much excitement. Surfing is literally the only thing I would wake up for way before sunrise. I go to the beach with so much anticipation as to what the surf conditions could be. And I stretch, I look at the wave patterns, I look at the water movements. And as I try to analyze the conditions, I feel energy being pumped in me. When I wear my leash to get in the water, I feel butterflies in my stomach. As I paddle into the water and do my first duck dive, a duck dive is when I push the board and myself underwater in order for the wave to pass over me. A sense of peace takes over. And this peace stays with me till I find my wave. The second I spot my wave, stage 2 begins. Now, my body rapidly moves towards the wave. And I feel in complete control of my body. I'm so aware of everything that it's doing, and I feel so much in control. And I try to position myself and try to prepare myself for the takeoff. Now, from here, it could go 2 ways. I can either catch the wave and ride it, or wipe out and crash. Irrespective of which way it goes, I get such a rush from the first attempt that the frequency with which I attempt to catch waves increases. Now, if the first wave goes well, then the rest of the session is spent in trying to beat that wave. If the first wave ends in a crash, then the chase for a good ride begins. Feel like in this stage, my body is at its maximum potential, it's functioning at its maximum potential. Adrenaline also helps with stamina, and it barely makes me feel any pain, which is why it's possible for me to surf for 4 to 6 hours at a stretch. This stage comes to an end when my limbs start to feel like noodles, and I barely have the energy for more paddles. Which brings us to our last stage. When I get back on land, I feel a bout of calmness engulf me. Physical exhaustion is at peak, but yet I feel exhilarated mentally. On days I'm mentally disturbed, I always walk out of the water feeling a lot better. The satisfaction I feel when I surf is incomparable. In this stage, everything feels amazing. Food, sleep, water gets to my soul. I find myself in awe of the world we live in and everything that nature has to offer. After each surf session, I feel slightly more confident in the person that I am. Every wave that's slightly bigger, there's definitely a sense of fear. But leaving the fear unacknowledged could lead to hesitations, and that, for the most of it, doesn't end well. I can give you one example. So, a couple of years into surfing, I went on a surf trip to the islands. I was there for a total of 14 days, and on my second day, I tried to catch this wave that was fairly big. And I was in a stage where I couldn't back out. And if I backed out, I would definitely crash. So I gave it my all. I paddled into the wave, and I pulled myself into the barrel, which is where the wave goes over me. And that still is one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in the ocean. It was my first time surfing in crystal clear waters, and I saw colorful fish below. I saw the reef. I saw the sunlight pass through the wave, and it was also mesmerizing. I kind of forgot to balance. So the next thing I know, I see the board go up with the wave and come crash on me. And then the wave crashes on my chest, and I go hit the reef. I black out for a couple of seconds, and I come back up. And I get on my board, and I try to paddle, but I realize that I don't feel anything on my left. I have no feelings. My left limbs went completely numb. And at this point, I was like, oh my God, what happened? Like, was that my last wave? Was that the last wave of my life? For an hour or so, people got to me, and I was still in the water for an hour after that, till I got some sensations back. I rested that day, and the rest of the 12 days I was there, I surfed because I felt no pain. On my way back, there was a 48-hour ship journey, and a few hours into the journey, I feel 100 knives being stabbed into my lower back. And that's when I realized that adrenaline kept me from feeling all that pain for all those days. So now, every time I feel challenged, I take a deep breath. I remember to believe in myself and go for it with everything I've got. Surfing, for me, has helped me grow as a person. I've grown to believe in myself, and I've learned to explore my potential. And surfing has made me more confident in the kind of person that I am, and has made me feel more connected to myself. Thank you.